Hey guys, Robert here again from RGL 518. Going to give another rundown here of Fall Classic Baseball. This is exhibition game number 8, and we are at Shea Stadium. The 1986 Philadelphia Phillies against the 1986 New York Mets. Historically, the Mets won this game 8-0. As they pretty much blew the Phillies out. This was the time of the year when the Mets were actually on a 10-game winning streak early on in the season in 86. Bears Den joins us here at Shea Stadium. This is an exhibition game, not a presentation really, as I'm still trying to learn rules. My 1969 season still has not arrived yet, so we're going to stick with 86 until that does get here. And then we'll switch seasons for a little while. So let's see how this game goes here. We got Kevin Gross versus Sid Fernandez in this matchup. Let's see what kind of bullpen session Mr. Fernandez had. That was a 16, and he is going to be a C. So we'll see if we have a long day for the Mets today. Top of the first, leading off for the Phillies will be Gary Reedus. He is in left field. I will be rolling dice for the game and drawing cards for the outs. That is a 13, and that's going to be an out on Reedus' card, and it's a fly out to center. That's out number 1. Here is Luis Aguayo. He is at second base. 65, possible home run check. Fernandez is a 1-9, and that is a 9, and Aguayo just hit a home run off of Fernandez. So that automatically takes care of the historical score as the Mets actually shut the Phillies out 8-0. So that 9 on Luis Aguayo's card, 65 is a home run. You go to the level that he's at. So Luis Aguayo smacks a home run. He had about 4 of them in 1986, but he gets one here. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Fighting Phils. Here is Rick Shue. He is at third base for this game. Bears Den says he's putting this game on the big screen. I know I've made it to the big time when I made it on the big screen. That's a 12. That's going to be an out, and it will be a pop out using the extra die. It'll be a pop out to the catcher. So that's out number 2. Here is the Michael Jack Schmidt. He is at first base. 45. That's a blanket on Fernandez's card. That's going to be a fly out to right. And that will end the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit for the Phils on a home run by Aguayo. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. Starting pitcher for the Phillies will be Kevin Gross. He gets the call here today. Let's see what kind of bullpen session he has. And he is going to be an A. So a C Fernandez against an A Gross. Let's see what happens. Lenny Dykstra leads off for the Mets. He is at center field. 11, and that's going to be a walk for Dykstra and an automatic stolen base. Or chance, I should say, automatic stolen base chance. With a walk plus. His stolen base rating is a 16. Russell, John Russell is the catcher. He is an average arm, so nothing there. So it'll give me a 1-16 for Dykstra to steal. And he got it. And it's a 4, as a matter of fact. And the error rating for Russell is a 1, so there's not going to be an error. So he throws down to second, but Dykstra is safe on the stolen base. Not too shabby. So here's Wally Backman. Runner on second base. And that is a 45. That's a blank on Backman's card. Gross is going to be a fly out to left field. That is a fly out to left. That'll be out number 1. I do not think he moved. I don't think Dykstra goes to second on that. I got to check it. I think on that, I think on the fly out to left. Yeah, it's just a fly out to left he holds. That's out number 1. Here is Keith Hernandez. He's at first base. Brandon Baker joins us here at Shea Stadium for some fall classic. Dykstra still on at second. And that is a 12. That's a walk for Fernandez. Hernandez. He trots down to first. So 2 walks given up by Kevin Gross. Next batter is Darryl Strawberry in right field. And that is a 22, and Dykstra walks. And he has the plus, but because the base is empty in front of him, he cannot, there's no steal. So the bases are loaded. So Kevin Gross walks, the bases loaded. He's given up 3 walks in this inning with 1 out. Here's Gary Carter, the catcher. The Mets are already down 1-0 on a home run by Luis Aguayo in the top of the first. Pitch is 64. Blank on Carter's card, and a 64 is going to be a fly out to left field on Gross's card. That is a fly out to left. And let's see here. That's an F. So question is, does he advance on that? Is there a chance for a sacrifice flies? I'll check that out. Let's see here on that. Let's see. Just says fly ball out. So there's a runner on third. Let's see what we get here. We got bases loaded, actually. Fly out, bases, fly out to left. Runner C. Fly out to left, runners advance, white die 1, and S on third holds. But that doesn't help me here, so I don't know if he scores. I know a 64 is a out F, so I know it's a fly out to left because it's off the A card, so that makes it a fly out to left. So how do I know if he scores or not? Because it's only 1 out, so it should be a sacrifice fly opportunity. And there's a number of different ways the out chart can deal with this. I mean, do I draw a card until I come up with a fly out answer? I don't know. I'm a little bit stumped. Makes a big difference whether Dykstra scores or not. I mean, there are 2 outs now, so we know he flew out. But does Lenny Dykstra score? I mean, I draw a card until I get to a fly out. So here's a fly out to center field, but that's not the case. So I know that's not right. This is where this game gets a little confusing. Let's see. So we know it's a fly out to left, but it's an out F, but that doesn't tell me if a runner scores or not. So how do we know if the runner scores? Is an out F automatically, is that an out F the runner does not score, or what? So I'm looking at the rules. See, the rules say that it's an optional rule, but on an out F, then all outs on the out chart are now flyouts. Use out code 7 in column A, code 8 in column B, and code 9 in C. Okay, fine. So you're using out code 7. All right, so I got to use out code 7. So that does tell me. So we use out code 7 on the bases loaded chart because we got to use the chart because the fact cards aren't going to help me with this. So out code 7 says fly out, runners advance, white die, and white die, and slow runner on third holds. Well, the white die is a 4. Dykstra is not a slow runner, so Dykstra does come in to score. So it's 1-1. After all that, I finally found out he scores. There's 2 outs, and the next batter is Danny Heap. Sorry to take so long on that, guys. I wasn't totally sure. So here's Heap. He'll bat up next. He is in left field for this game. 36 on Heap's cards, a blank. Kevin Gross, 36. That is a fly out to left as well, but that ends the inning, though. So all 3 outs in this inning were fly outs to left, and there wasn't a single hit. 1 run on no hits, 3 walks, and 3 fly outs is how this inning went. And the Mets tie it 1-1. Very interesting. We go to the top of the second inning. And we're going to have Glenn Wilson leading off for the Phillies. This is exhibition game number 8. And my Mets are 5-2 in the exhibition games I played. Sid Fernandez is a C, and Kevin Gross is an A. Fernandez, here's the pitch to Wilson. 1-5 is an out X, and that's going to be an automatic out. I'll take that fly out to center field on that one. So that's out number 1. Here is John Russell. And that's a 65. That's a 65. That's a possible home run for John Russell. A 65. Fernandez is a C pitcher. 1-9 would be a home run, but that is a 19, so that's going to be an out. And that's going to be a fly out to center. Out number 2. And that will bring up Gary Maddox. Had to print his card. He only had 7 at-bats in 1986 for the Phillies. 64. That is a blank. And on Fernandez's card, that is a K. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Fernandez. So we go to the bottom of the second. Here is Howard Johnson. He is at third base for the game. 51. That's a KD chart. That is a strikeout 10. Not going to happen on Kevin Gross. So then we go to the error. That's a 51. So it's a possible error on the second baseman. That is Luis Aguayo. His error rating is a 7. That's a 10. We can use the same roll. That will not be an error, and Johnson is out on a ground out. So a ground out to second. That's how that goes. You can re-roll if you want. Here's Rafael Santana. We should use Anthony Homebrew rules about pitchers' grades changing during the game. I just got the game, so I'm going to follow rules as written for now. Kevin Gross, Santana 1-5. That is a ground. That's going to be an out, and that is a pop out to third. That's out number 2. I saw his homebrew rules. I did, but it's too early for me to make any changes to the game. I got to make it where I got to play the game right now as rules is written. I did it that way with payoff pitch and an inside pitch. I would not make any changes to the game rules until I got a lot of games on my belt. That's why I did make some inside pitch rule changes and some payoff pitch rule changes. Here's Fernandez. 14, that's a strikeout. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gross. Still tied at 1 after 2. Top of the third. There is an optional rule where if a pitcher is pitching a shutout, the grade moves, something like that. I do know that. It's automatically in the book. Here's Steve Jeltz. He's at short. And it's not Gross. It's Fernandez. 64, that's a blank. And on Fernandez, that's a K. Second strikeout for Fernandez. Kevin Gross has his own pitcher card. Pitch is a 44, and that is a 18, and that's going to be an out. Wow, that's going to be an out, and that is a ground out to short. We almost had a base hit there, 2 outs. And now Gary Reedus. Daniel McCord says he joins me here at Shea Stadium as he finally received his print copy. Pitch is a 44 for Reedus. That is a 19. That will be a single and a possible stolen base. Base hit for Reedus. And Reedus' stolen base rating is a 16. Carter has an average arm. So 1 to 16, Reedus will try to go, and that is a 1. And Carter throws that, his error rating is a 1, and Carter throws that ball into the outfield. I believe that is an error. And it is. So Gary Reedus goes to third on an error. So stolen base for Reedus. The batter is Luis Aguayo with 2 outs. Infield is normal. Aguayo hit the home run off of Fernandez. 44, and that is a 16, and that is a strikeout. Wow. 44, usually a hit, but that is a K, 11 to 17, a 16, and Fernandez gets Aguayo out, and that is Aguayo at a strikeout number 3, and that will end the inning. So 1 hit for the Phillies, still tied at 1. So the error does not hurt for my Mets. Top of the order for the Mets, here's Dykstra. Pitch is 65. That's a home run check. Gross is an A pitcher. A 1 to 12 would be a home run, but that's a 16. And that is going to be an out. And it is a ground out to short. That is out number 1. Wally Backman. 15 on Backman. That's going to be an out. And it will be a ground out to second. For out number 2. Keith Hernandez is next. 34, Hernandez, a blank. Kevin Gross, that's a base hit. Hernandez will get himself a 2-out single. He's on base for the second time today. It brings up the straw. 44 strike, had a bad season at the plate. Yeah, you would think so with that kind of thing. Hernandez on it first. The pitch to Strawberry, 54 off the 54 chart. So it's a men on base, wild pitch or pass ball. If a 6, Kevin Gross's wild pitch rating 1 to 6. Refer to wild pitch rating. If it is a 6, it falls in the range. It's a wild pitch by Kevin Gross, and Hernandez will go to second. And we'll do it again. Wild pitch sends Hernandez to second base. And that is a 65. That's a home run check for Strawberry. Kevin Gross, a 1 to 12. But again, a high ball. That's a 19. Strawberry does not get the home run. That is going to be an out. It's a deep fly ball to right field, but that's where it dies. No runs and a hit for the Mets. Still tied at 1. Top of the 4th inning. Rick Shea will lead off. Pitch is a 25. And against the lefty, that's a single, and that's exactly what Fernandez is. He is a lefty. That's a split chance. That's a single for Shea. And he'll go to first on the base hit. And it will bring up the Michael Jack Schmidt. That's a 44, and that's a 20, and that's going to be a single for Schmidt. So that's a base hit to center field. A fast runner goes to third. Shea is not. He is an average runner, so he will hold at second. But the Phillies are in business with nobody out. And the batter will be Glenn Wilson. So Fernandez is in some trouble. 42, blank on Wilson's card. Fernandez, 42. That is a walk. He is a C pitcher. And that is a walk, and the bases are loaded. Not looking good for the Mets. Here is John Russell. Mets will keep the infield back. They'll give up the run if they can get two. Pitch Russell, 54. That's off the 54 chart. With men on base, refer to pitcher's wild pitch rating. And if it's a 13, it falls within that range. It is a 10. It does not. So it's ball one. And we'll redo the roll. 45 on Russell. That is a blank. And on Fernandez, that is a fly out to right. That is a fly out to right on that. And we use code number 9 on that one. It's a fly out to right. The base is full. Runners at second and third advance. White die 1 and slow runner on third holds. Shea is an average runner. So runners at second and third advance. So Shea does come in to score. Schmidt will go to third. Wilson stays at first. It is now 2-1 Phillies as Russell hits into sacrifice fly to right field. Next batter is Gary Maddox. Runners at second, runners at first and third with 1 out. Infield is still going to play back. The pitch is a 63, and on Fernandez's card, that's a strikeout. That's a big K. Strikeout number 4 for Fernandez. That's out number 2. Here's Steve Jeltz. 54 again, another wild pitch check by the looks of it. And if it's a 14, it falls into the range. Fernandez is 1-10. It is not, and that's going to be a ball. Re-roll. Do it again. That's a 23, and Jeltz strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Fernandez. And the Mets were lucky to only give up a run. 1 run on 2 hits, a walk on a sacrifice fly. 2-1 Phillies. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the kid, Gary Carter. Ah, 52. That's a KD chart. That 19 against Kevin Gross, that will not be a strikeout. So we go to the chart. It's a 52. A ball hit to shortstop, and that is Jeltz. His error rating is a 7. That's a 19. There will not be an error. He will throw to first to get the out. Ground out to short. Next batter will be Danny Heap. .25 against a right-hander. That's a single, and Kevin Gross is a right-hander, and Heap gets a base hit. Single for Heap, and that's his first hit. Here is Howard Johnson with Heap on it first. That's a 24 on Johnson. That is a hit by pitch 1-3. That is a 9. It is not. It's going to be an out. And he's a switch hitter, so he's hitting from the left side. That's going to be a ground out to first. And with a run and the runner to second, batter out 3-1. So Denny Heap makes it to second base. Johnson is out at first, out number 2. Chance for Rafael Santana. 54 again on the 54 chart, getting a lot of wild pitch checks. Wild pitch, per wild pitch rating, if it's 11, gross is a 6. It doesn't go any higher than 6, so that's ball 1. We'll re-roll. 64, blank on Santana's card. That's going to be a fly out to left on Gross's card, and that is going to be out number. That's the final out. That's the final out. Nothing for the Mets except a hit. They're down 2-1. Top of the 5th inning. Rapidly moving ball game so far. Kevin Gross will come up to bat. 22, that's an out. It's a fly out to center. Gary Reedus is next. 41, that's going to be a walk. We already know that. So Reedus trots down to first. Second time Reedus has been up. Luis Aguayo will bat. 44 for Aguayo, and that is a 5. That's going to be a hit by pitch possibility. It's a 5. 2-10. That 5 falls in there. He does hit Aguayo. Sid Fernandez is a -1 to hit by pitch, would make it a 4, but Aguayo still gets plunked, and now you got runners at first and second. Here is Rick Shea. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Shea is 1 for 2. 46, that's ballpark, and that is a 19, and it's a stretch a single into the double or out at second. All runners advance 2 bases. So all runners advance 2 bases. So Reedus comes in to score. Aguayo goes to third. Shea is on at first, and you use the outfielder's assist rating to check safe or out. And that ball was hit to right field, and that is Darryl Strawberry. His arm rating is an A, so a 1-3, and he is safe. I think, well, actually, no, 1-3. I think he's out, right? So 1-3. It's an assist. I think he's. I'm gonna hear. I think he a 1-3. He's an A4. Strawberry's an A4. He's an A4. So we're running against the assist rating. No, our on throws runner out 1-3. Okay, so yeah, he's out. So Rick Shea is out of there, trying to stretch a single into a double. But the run does score. So it's a base hit, but he's out of there. There are 2 outs. It's now 3-1 Phillies. And that will bring up the Michael Jack Schmidt. Schmidt is 1 for 2. That's a 55. That is an 8, and that is a goner. Home run, Michael Jack Schmidt. .55 home run, 1-8. That is an 8, and Schmidt goes ahead and sends it right out of the park. And it is now 5-1 Phillies. as a C. Fernandez is definitely not cutting it, but most of those hits really are off of the batter card, not the pitcher card mostly. 5-1. The next batter will be Glenn Wilson. That's a 24. That's a hit by pitch on a 1-4, but that's a 19, and it's going to be a ground out to third. And the inning is over. So 3 runs on 2 hits, a home run by Michael Schmidt. It is 5-1 Phillies going into the bottom of the 5th. Sid Fernandez due up. He's already gotten clocked with 5 runs already. And we're going to go to the bench and yank him, as that C rating did hurt. So he's going to be done for the game. And it will be Ray Knight coming on to pinch hit, as he has the most at-bats on the bench. Ray Knight will pinch hit for Fernandez in the bottom of the 5th. 14. That's going to be an out. And that is a ground out to short. Top of the order, here's Dykstra. 16 on Dykstra. That's an out. And it will be a ground out to second for out number 2. And now Wally Backman. 24. That's an out. And that will be a switch hitter. He's hitting from the left side, so that is a ground out to first. 1, 2, 3 inning go the Mets, and they are down 5-1. We go to the top of the 6th. John Russell leads off for the Phillies. I think we'll see a right-hander for the Mets. Let's see. I think we'll go with Rick Aguilera, starter, but also did also relief. And let's see what kind of bullpen session he has. And he is going to be a B. John Russell leads off against Aguilera. And that's a 12. That's a strikeout. Next up is Gary Maddox. 14 for Maddox. That's a walk. He trots down to first. Next batter is Jeltz. Steve Jeltz. 24 hit by pitch on a 1. That's an 8. That is not going to be a hit. That even with Rick Aguilera, he adds 5, so I'd make it a 6. But that's an 8, so there's no hit by pitch. That becomes an out. And it's a fly out to center field. And that is out number 2. Kevin Gross will hit. He has a 4-run lead. 13 struck him out. A walk is all the Phillies get. They lead 5-1 here going into the bottom of the 6th. Keith Hernandez leads off for the Mets. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Hernandez is 1 for 1, singled and walked. That's a 14, and that is a 20. And on that, it would be a strikeout, and that's exactly what it is. Fernandez strikes out. That is strikeout number 2 for Gross. Was not really a hard thrower, although he had 154 strikeouts. Here's the straw. 14 Strawberry. That's a strikeout. And now Gary Carter. 6-6 for Carter. That's a 20, and that's going to be a double. Carter goes ahead and gets a 2-out double. Just missed a home run by 2. Would have been nice if he got the home run. And now it'll be up to Danny Heap to try to bring him in. 2 outs still. And that is a 41, and that's a walk. Heap will trot down to first on a base on balls. Chance now for Howard Johnson. 41 again, and again that's a walk. Again a 41, and again that's a walk. So now Kevin Gross has walked. The base is loaded. And the batter is Rafael Santana, who I really would like to pinch hit for. Although this is only the 6th inning, and he's only been up twice, so he's got a bat. So bases loaded for Rafael Santana. Kevin Gross trying to see if he can get out of a jam. That is a 54. That's on the wild pitch chart. Men on base refer to wild pitch rating. If it's 18, Gross is a 1-6. There is no wild pitch, so we'll redo it. 16, and that is an out. And that will be a pop out to the shortstop. And that ends the inning. No runs, a double. They strand a whole bunch of base runners. Still 5-1 in favor of the Phils. Might have borrowed a towel or two and some soap and shampoo from Howard Johnson's place back in the day. Top of the 7th, Rick Aguilera will pitch. He's due to bat first in the bottom of the 7th inning. Who leads off? Gary Reedus leads off for the Phils. That's a 52. That's off the KD chart. That 20 is going to be too high for a strikeout attempt. So it's going to be a ball hit to third base. That ball is Johnson. His error rating is a 15, but that 20 will also not make an error, so it's going to be out number 1. Ground ball to third. Tony says you don't really have to roll the D20 if you don't want to. You could use it for the strikeout rating and for the error rating, because it could depend also on the pitcher's thing here. Well, speaking of Tony Porter, the devil himself has arrived. 1 out. As Tony Porter now joins us here from C&D Baseball TV. Here's Luis Aguayo. Pitch 63, a blank on Aguayo's card. That's going to be an out on Aguilera's card, and it's a fly out to right. And here is Rick Shue. Aguilera, Shue, 61, a blank. Aguilera's card is a strikeout. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch, 5-1 in favor of the Phils. You do say that, right, Tony? I mean, if on a KD check, I really don't have to re-roll the 20, right? It doesn't really hurt anything if I don't do that. So on a KD check, if, You know, don't really have to re-roll a 20 on the KD check. I mean, I could leave that for the strikeout and for the error check as well. I really don't have to re-roll that die, do I? If I don't want to. I don't know if that really takes anything away. I don't know. What do you think? You know this game still better than I do. New batter coming up for Aguilera. We'll see a new hitter. And that will be Kevin Mitchell. He'll bat against Kevin Gross here to start the bottom of the 7th. Katie is 1-3 and errors are above that. I see it that way. Okay. So here's Kevin Mitchell against Kevin Gross. And that is a 13, and that is an out. And it will be a ground out to first. Top of the order here is Dykstra. Has to do. We need to ask Greg who's the same role. If it's a 1-3, it's a K. 66 for Dykstra. That's a double. He gets a nice double. Gets him to second base on that. Dykstra's first hit of the game. Here's Backman. Can the Mets get some runs? That's a 26, and yep, Backman gets a single. There you go. It's a base hit to left field. Second to home, fast runner advances. Slow average hold. Slow and average, it's a hold. Dykstra is a fast runner, so he will score from second. So that's an RBI single by Backman. And it is now 5-2. Yep, you can always ask him there, Tony, because I know you're on good terms with him so far. He doesn't really know me yet. Let's see. Here's Keith Hernandez. Backman on at first. Chance here for the Mets. Now 5-2. Can they get more runs? Gross will be tired. Let's see. And 2 more batters. Here's the pitch. 42. That's a blank on Gross's card. That's a 1-4. If it's a walk, he is an A pitcher in this game. It is not. That's going to be an out. It will be a ground out to the shortstop. And with a runner on first, double play, 6-4-3. But the shortstop, though, is a weak arm. The shortstop is Jeltz. He has an average arm. So, nope, that is a double play, 6-4-3, inning over. Mets do get a run on 2 hits. At the end of 7, still 5-2 now. Top of the 8th inning. Mike Schmidt leads off for the Phillies. He hit a home run in this game. Mets need a pitcher. Down by 3 runs, they will go with... They'll go with Roger. Roger McDowell comes in. He will be a C pitcher, as the Mets have not had good bullpens today. Schmidt will go up against McDowell. That is a 62, and on McDowell's card, that will be an out. And it is a ground out to third. Out number 1. Here's Glenn Wilson. 41, that's a walk. Wilson will trot down to first. Here's John Russell. That's a 53. That's a KD chart. That's going to be defense. That is a 4. Roger McDowell is a C pitcher, so that 1 is no good. So let's see what we get here. That is a ball hit to center field. That's a ball hit to center field, and that's going to be a 4. The ball is hit to Dykstra. His range is a 10. His range is a 10. That's a 4. He will make the catch. That's out number 2. Two outs. That brings up Gary Maddox. Bob's Tabletop Sports joins us here near the end of the game. Pitch is 25. That's going to be an out. And it's a fly out to center. A walk for the Phillies, but that is all they get. Bottom of the 8th. 5-2 Mets. Leading off for the Mets will be Darryl Strawberry. That's going to be it for Gross, too. He's done his job, did a very good job, Kevin Gross. They will go to the bullpen, the Phillies, which is the right thing to do. And they will go with Kent Tecovey, since the pitcher is due up second in the inning for the Phillies in the 9th. Kent Tecovey will pitch to Strawberry, and he will be a pitcher. So both Phillies pitchers today's were A's. Pitch from Tecovey, 46 on Strawberry. That's a ballpark, and it's a ballpark 6. And that's going to be a foul. That's going to be a foul ball. Re-roll. 36 this time on Strawberry's card. Go to blank Tecovey. That's going to be an out. It's a ground out to short. Here is Gary Carter. He is 1 for 3. 35, blank on Carter. Tecovey's card. That's going to be an out. And it's a ground out to short. Now the batter is Danny Heap. 34, blank on Heap. Tecovey. That is an out. And it's a ground out to second. 1-2-3 inning for Tecovey. He does his job. Still 5-2 in favor of the Fighting Phils. Top of the 9th in this rapidly moving ball game. Roger McDowell will pitch to Steve Jeltz, who will lead it off. That's a 56. That's a blank on Jeltz's card. McDowell is a C pitcher, but that's still a strikeout. Jeltz goes down. Pinch hitter coming up for Tecovey. It is the 9th inning, so I can use any batter I want. Doesn't matter how many at-bats he had. And that will bring up the best average, which I usually do, and that's going to be Von Hayes. He will come up and pinch hit against McDowell. 15, Von Hayes. That is an out. And it's a ground out to short. 2 men down. Top of the order, here is Gary Redus. 42, blank on Ritas's card. McDowell, of course, is a C, and a 42 on him is a walk. So C pitcher allows Ritas to walk and keeps the inning alive for Luis Aguayo, who has a home run in this game. '54, again a strikeout chance. 7 is too high. We'll go to the KD chart. 50. I'm sorry. What did I say? 54. I'm sorry. That's not what I say. 54. I'm bad. That's a wild pitch chart. I'm sorry. Wild pitch rating is 10, and McDowell's an 18. So Ritas will go to second. Ritas advances on the wild pitch. We'll re-roll. '21, Aguayo, that's a strikeout. And that ends the inning. So no runs, nothing there, just a walk. 5-2, can the Mets get some ninth inning magic? We shall soon find out as the Phillies will bring in their closer. And that is Steve Bedrosian. And he's got a 15. He's a C pitcher. Okay, so both Gross and Ticovey were A pitchers, but Bedrosian's a C pitcher. Howard Johnson will bat, and he will bat in the bottom of the ninth inning. 31, Johnson a blank, and Bedrosian 31. That is a leadoff single for Howard Johnson. Johnson gets a leadoff base hit. The batter is Rafael Santana. I do not think I have another shortstop in the line unless I want to move. What do I have? Let's see. What about Johnson, third base? Yep, I can do something with that. So Santana's going to come out. We will see a pinch hitter. It will be Tim Teufel. What will happen, though, is probably Howard Johnson will move to short, and Teufel will take over third base, which he can do. So, runner at first, Bedrosian will pitch to Teufel. Pinch hitting. That's a 32 for Teufel. That's a blank on Bedrosian's card. That is going to be an out. And it's a fly out to left. Out number 1, but Tim Teufel will go ahead and will take over. If this game goes any further, Teufel moves to third, and Johnson will now take over at short. And we need a pinch hitter for the pitcher as McDowell's coming out. And it will be George Foster. .22 for Foster. That is a 7, and that is a strikeout. Foster goes down on the K. He gets a 22, but that 7 is a strikeout. Foster is gone. Last chance for the Mets is Dykstra. 34 for Dykstra, blank. Bedrosian 34, single. The inning stays alive. Base hit to center field. First to third, fast or average runner advance. He is a fast runner, so he will go to third. Dykstra goes to first, and a chance for Wally Backman. Can Wally Backman bring in some runs? Runners at the corners. 2 outs. Bedrosian will pitch to Backman. And that is a 14, and that's going to do it. A ground ball to third base. picked up by Shea, pumps once, pumps twice, throws to first. That's your game. No runs, 2 hits. And the Phillies take this one 5-2 over the Mets. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 7 runs, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mets. Kevin Gross gets the win. Sid Fernandez takes the loss. And Steve Bedrosian actually does get the save. And RJL says rigged. I still have to do a lot more playtime with this game. To me, this was the 8th game I played so far. And although I've got another season coming in, and although I do like the game, I still feel like all I'm doing is rolling dice. I just, I don't know. It's not like payoff pitch. Payoff pitch, I don't know yet. I don't know. I like the game. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I think I just need more playtime. I need more playtime. So I'm not going to make it a pin. So I do like Fall Classic. I do like Fall Classic. I do like Fall Classic. There's no doubt about it. I do like Fall Classic. That goes without saying. But everyone here has watched me play payoff pitch and inside pitch and APA. And even though I only played a few games at APA, everyone here, that a lot of people said, not everyone, but most people said to me, Robert, you could not get into APA. And they were right. But I had a couple of people say, but when you play inside pitch, you really get into the game. And yes, you're into payoff pitch too. Yes. Okay. You're into payoff pitch, but they say when you play inside pitch, you are really into the game. I mean, really into it. You seem a lot more louder than you do on any other game, even more than payoff pitch lately. And they happen to be right. They happen to be right. Inside pitch is my game of choice at this time. If I was stuck on a desert island and the only game I could play was one baseball, and I could only have one baseball game, I would take inside pitch and all the 44 seasons that were available. I'd be very happy with that. I could live with that. I would take inside pitch. Not because I don't like payoff pitch, which I do, and I still think payoff pitch is awesome. But payoff pitch only has 27 seasons. Inside pitch is 44. One of the things I think that Fall Classic has going for it, where a lot of people have told me it's kind of a meh. Some people told me it's a meh kind of game. It has a lot of seasons. That's the thing that actually really pushes Fall Classic. It has 103 seasons. That's one of the reasons that APA is pushed, because APA has all the seasons from 1901 to 2020. Stratomatic, a lot of people would play more Stratomatic, I think, but Stratomatic hardly has anything. They got like 30 some odd seasons, but the seasons that are available for Stratomatic are, well, meh. A lot of the seasons that are out for Stratomatic are meh. They don't have the 86 season, which I would play if I had a remastered 86 season. They don't have 1990, which I know Brandon Baker would scoop up in a heartbeat. They don't have 1983, which I know CP that Tony at Cards and Dice would pick up in a heartbeat, because he loves the year that Seaver goes back to the Mets. They're missing. They don't have 1969 available anymore. They don't have 1973. They don't have 20. They don't even have 2015. 2015 is 6 years old. How do you not even have 2015? I would get that season because the Mets went to the World Series that year. Lost, but I would still get it. They don't even have 2015 available. No 1977 or 1978 for the Yankees. No 1997 for the Marlins. I'd rather play the 97 Marlins than the 2003 Marlins. You know, Stratomatic, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why Stratomatic can't reprint seasons. I just don't understand it. They have the computer game. They have all the cards for the computer game. The computer game is all can be super advanced with no problem. So what is the problem with them? It seems a lot of the game engines, they don't produce most of the seasons and just produce certain handpicked seasons, all kind of go light on 80s, 90s, just in general. You have 77, 78 got in early. Don't they want younger players? I would think they would want younger players. You know, I would think I would think they want. The problem is also, most kids are not doing this, guys. Most kids are not doing this. They're playing with this. They're playing MLB The Show for baseball or that kind of thing. They're playing Major League Baseball The Show, which I do get every year also for my PlayStation. I get that. Of course I do. I love the game. I love playing MLB The Show when I want to, play pitch by pitch. I get Out of the Park every year. I get Action PC Baseball every year. I picked up the new one when it was released, the day it was released, the new Action PC Baseball. I got that immediately because I use Action PC Baseball for rosters, for my cards and dice seasons. Yeah, you mean players in the late 20s, 30s. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. You're right. So far, I'm enjoying Fall Classic. I do like it. I definitely like Fall Classic. I do like it, absolutely. I think Fall Classic is terrific. I like the fat cards. When I ordered the 69 season, I ordered the set 2 of the fat cards. And I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to keep on playing it. I'm not going to put it on my shelf like I did Appa. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with Fall Classic and continue to play. But right now, Inside Pitch is my game of choice, and I love looking forward to playing a game of Inside Pitch. I almost made a decision tonight when I was about to play Payoff Pitch. I almost got out my 1985 Inside Pitch season and said, you know what? I really want to add Inside Pitch into my 85 replay. I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. I mean, it's my choice if I want to do it. But I said, I've been going with Payoff Pitch this entire time. I think I should just keep it the way it is. And the next season season replay that I do will be Inside Pitch. Or I'll do a combination of the 3. Inside Pitch, Payoff Pitch, Fall Classic. I'll just order the season that is chosen by you guys for the next, from Fall Classic. I'll just order that season automatically. And as far as Inside Pitch goes, we'll have more seasons to choose from. Unless for the playoffs, roll it out maybe. Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm very proud of myself so far in that 85 replay. Today we reached August. We are now in August. Playing every other day of the season. We get to the season good. We got some good pennant races. We got a couple good pennant races. We got some playoff races coming up in Payoff Pitch, and I like how it's running. I have no idea why the Royals are doing so bad. I have no idea how the Royals are doing so bad. Kansas City has a record of 45 wins and 55 losses. They are 10 games under. I have no idea. I checked to make sure that I was rolling Kansas City correctly when I did my quick result chart, and I'm doing it right. But if you notice, Kansas City is underachieving. Minnesota is overachieving big time. They're in first place. Minnesota's overachieving. Seattle's overachieving. Okay. Seattle's overachieving. Montreal's the best team in the league. Philadelphia is overachieving. The Mets are pretty much where they're supposed to be. Cardinals are a little under, but they're still there. Dodgers, the only 4 teams that are acting the way they should, Dodgers, Reds, Padres, Astros, and Atlanta and San Francisco. These 2 teams stunk, and they are there for payoff pitch. So don't get me, I have no idea why the Royals are underachieving, and I am rolling the dice correct, and I am putting them on correct. I don't know why Kansas City is doing that bad, but that's the way I've been running the cards. Anyway. Brandon Baker, Daniel McCord, Bears Den 007, C&D Baseball TV with Tony Porter, Sports Time Machine. Thank you all for joining me tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, Inside Pitch tomorrow morning, game number 10. Florida Marlins taking on the Kansas City Royals. Pat Rack going up against Mark Gubicza. That should be actually a fun game. That 95 Marlins team wasn't as bad as some people thought it was. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.